Keepers nervous, strikers, they'll deliver. Crowd roars erupted, you can feel the quake. 80,000 voices.
In this video, we'll be talking about John Mikel, one of Nigeria's finest footballing talents. Hello there, welcome to the channel, Nigerian football fans. John Mikel, no doubt, for me, like I said earlier in the video, is and was one of Nigeria's finest footballing talents. You know, from his controversial move from Linus Low to Chelsea, because we all know there are links that linked him to, a sure move to Manchester United. Of course, it caused some uproar, but he ended up moving to Chelsea, and he ended up playing as a defensive midfielder or a deep line playmaker. Although we know for the under-20s, he played as a 10, could read the play, good passing, strong on the ball, very technically gifted. And for some reason, a lot of people touted him to be, the successor to Austin J.J. Okocha. But there was something that made him different from Austin Okocha, which was he didn't have as many flicks and tricks, and he didn't have as much flair as the great Austin J.J. Okocha. But he was very good on the ball. He could read the game. He could glide past players in his own special kind of way. So when he went to Chelsea, one of the things that pulled me back a bit was he was asked to play as a defensive midfielder, as a deep line playmaker by Jose Mourinho. That was one of the things that made me say, Mourinho, I like you, but why are you getting this player, this very creative player, this player that for Nigeria, we're looking at him to say he is meant to be the creative genius in the team, but now you're playing him as a deep line playmaker. Several years down the line, he's won Premier League titles, domestic cups, he's won Champions League titles as well. As won the AFCON, playing in that position. You can see Jose Mourinho was onto something. And I want to say something on this video, and for many people, it will seem like it's such a huge take, but it quite isn't. It just isn't. It's just pure truth. And that is, John Mikel definitely, in his prime, was and is better than RODRI. I know. Which RODRI you ask? Yes, the one that plays for Manchester City. One thing is, when Mikel was doing what he was doing, which is what RODRI is doing at the minute, everyone criticized him, pass the ball side to side, all sorts of harsh criticisms about John Mikel. And to my mind, in my opinion, he's better on the ball than RODRI. And one thing you must bear in mind as well is, because sometimes people miss out on context, he played for one of the most defensive-minded coaches, Jose Mourinho. He played for Antonio Conte as well, So can you imagine John Mikel playing for a coach like Pep Guardiola, given the freedom in that midfield? Can you imagine what he would do? For me, he was far more technical than RODRI. He's far better on the ball than RODRI. Was a far better passer than RODRI. I know people think, oh, this is some huge, big take. No, it's not. John Mikel was just that good. He was so good on the ball, and he had this presence about him where he could shield the defense by himself. So after Makelele left, he came in. He was the one that actually sat in front of the midfield, and that's what RODRI is doing now. With RODRI now, Man City, you always dominate the ball. So it's fair play for him to be a bit dominant on the ball. But John Mikel played in Jose Mourinho's side that sometimes would cede possession to the opposition to hit them on the counter and take advantages of loophole in the opposition coach's tactical setup. And John Mikel shone playing in that midfield. And he led the Nigerian national team to an AFCON title. So you can see John Mikel for me, he head and shoulders above Rodri. Rodri is good, no doubt. Rodri is the Ballon d'Or right now. And like I said, if you played for an attack-minded coach, Mikel Obi, he would have won the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. Except someone like Jimmy Carragher would pop up to say, AFCON doesn't count, AFCON doesn't give weight, to your pursuit for the Ballon d'Or, because I think Mikel Obi was just that good. He was phenomenal, in my opinion. And for me, Mikel Obi was so special for Nigeria because Nigeria at the time and even now don't really create or produce players in his ilk. Players that can hold the ball, read the play, distribute the ball. That's why I was a bit upset with Jose Mourinho when he decided to play him as City playing playmaker. But now there's one player that, in my opinion, I think is now the successor to John Mikel Obi, and that is none other than, you guessed it right, Ebenezer Akinsimero, the Inter Milan player that's currently on loan to Sampdoria. He fits the mold perfectly. But just want to say this, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe right now. Click the notification bell so you're notified each time I go live on the channel or post a pre-recorded video on the channel. Now, on the topic that I've been talking about today, what do you think about John Obi Mikel? Do you think he was that good? Do you rate him? Do you think I'm talking craziness? I don't think I'm being crazy. I'm just saying the pure fact, which is John Mikel Obi better than Rodri 1000%. So at this point, I've come to the end of today's video. I'll see you on yet another video. So stay well, stay blessed.